When I walked down the aisle that day, I thought I was marrying the love of my life. My name is Emma Harris, and this is the story of how a single stranger at my wedding changed everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and truth. It all began on a bright June morning in Charleston, South Carolina. The air was thick with jasmine and the kind of excitement only a wedding day can bring. My bridesmaids were fussing over my dress. My mom was holding back tears, and my soon-to-be husband Ryan Parker was waiting at the altar. Everything seemed perfect, too perfect. But then, just as the ceremony was about to begin, I noticed a man standing quietly at the back of the venue. He wasn't on the guest list. He wasn't dressed like everyone else. He wore a simple gray suit, held no gift, and yet his eyes, those piercing blue eyes, were fixed on Ryan with something between sorrow and anger. I remember whispering to my maid of honor, "Do you know who that is?" She shook her head. I brushed it off, thinking maybe he was a friend of Ryan's from work, but something about him made my heart race in a way I couldn't explain. The ceremony went smoothly, but I caught that man leaving before we even said our vows. Fast forward 2 weeks later, married life was blissful, or at least it appeared that way. Ryan and I had moved into our new home, started planning our honeymoon, and life felt stable. But late one night, when I went to grab Ryan's phone to check the time, I saw a message notification from an unknown number. She deserves to know the truth. My stomach dropped. I confronted Ryan about it, but he brushed it off, saying it was some prank from an old friend. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But something inside me was unsettled. A few days later, that same man from the wedding showed up at my workplace. He waited outside until I left for the day. When I saw him, I froze. "Emma," he said softly. "I didn't want to come to you, but you need to know who I am." My hands trembled. "Who are you?" "I'm Daniel Price," he replied. "Ryan's brother." That made no sense. Ryan had told me his only family was his mother, who lived in Arizona. Daniel took a deep breath and handed me a sealed envelope. "Read this when you're alone." Then he walked away. Inside the envelope was a stack of letters, old, yellowed, and clearly written by Ryan. They were addressed to Mom and Daniel. In those letters, Ryan confessed to being involved in a hit-and-run accident years ago that took the life of Daniel's father. The same father Ryan had claimed died in a workplace accident. I felt sick. My husband had hidden this dark truth, and his estranged brother had come to the wedding to stop the marriage, but couldn't bring himself to do it in front of everyone. When I confronted Ryan, he broke down. He admitted everything: the guilt, the lies, the buried past. His mother had helped him cover it up, and Daniel had cut ties with both of them. Ryan's confession shattered the perfect image I'd built around him. It wasn't just about the accident. It was about the years of deceit that followed. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just packed a small bag and left. Weeks passed. I stayed with my best friend Laya, trying to process everything. Ryan sent letters begging for forgiveness. Daniel reached out again, apologizing for how it all came out. He said, "He never meant to ruin my life, only to stop the lies." Over time, I learned more about Daniel. Despite the pain between them, he was calm, thoughtful, and honest. He told me how his father's death had destroyed his family, and how Ryan's secret had haunted them all. But what surprised me most was how Daniel never spoke ill of Ryan. "He made terrible choices," Daniel said one evening, "but I think he's been punishing himself every day since." I realized then that life isn't black and white. People carry wounds that shape their choices. Months later, I finalized the divorce. Ryan moved away seeking help for his guilt and depression. As for me, I started rebuilding my life, working again, reconnecting with friends, and learning how to forgive, even without forgetting. On what would have been our first wedding anniversary, I received a small package in the mail. Inside was a note from Ryan, greater than, "Thank you for showing me what love could have been if I had been honest." I hope you find peace. And tucked behind the letter was a photo from our wedding day. Me smiling, unaware of the storm ahead with Daniel standing quietly in the back. That photo to me represents truth. The truth that love isn't always enough. That sometimes the people we trust the most carry secrets that can change everything. But it also represents resilience, the strength to move forward even when your world falls apart. I still believe in love, but now I know it has to be built on truth. And that stranger at my wedding, he didn't ruin my life.